everybody, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rainboots.com, and today I'm going to share one of my first projects with the xTool M1 fully enclosed laser and blade cutting machine. Basically, I had a theory, and the theory was, can I use Dollar Tree supplies in this laser? Is it going to work? Is it gonna leave a nasty residue? So what I did is I created a free design. Doesn't matter if you're cutting with a laser, a Cricut machine, or if you just want to cut out pieces of this and use it, this is free for everybody. I'll put the link down below for the free SVG and the free XCS file in case you're using an xTool.
So here's my design in Illustrator that you can get, and here is what I'm using for both the base and the cutouts. It's the Dollar Tree 11.5-inch wood rounds. I'm just going to remove the ties and pop these in the laser. You can see I'm using the base plate and the triangle prisms for this project.
I would, however, after having it for so long now, recommend that you always cut on a honeycomb, because it definitely makes it a little tighter, and it also reduces any flare-ups or scorching or that kind of charred look. I love the honeycomb.
Okay, enough of my face. Let's hit refresh, select everything, and resize it to our round. You will see many components in here, but what we need to look at is all the stuff in the middle should be set to score, but this outside ring, I actually don't need it. It's our cut file for the round, so you can either set it to ignore or just delete it entirely. So now I'm going to make sure everything is set on score, laser flat, basswood, auto measure it, indicate that it has prisms, and just use the default scoring. And this is what it looks like. I have a theory at this point. I'm going to actually paint right over this, and I should have scored deeper. But that's a problem for later, because right now we're going to take this ugly piece, pop it into our laser, and we're going to auto measure again. Do not resize, just change everything from score to cut. I reframed mine again, and I looked at the estimated time. This is the framing process. I recommend to do it every single time, as well as auto measure anytime you put something in to see if that laser will be accurate. Now, when I mentioned the estimated time, there's been a lot of chatter that I've seen inside of the Facebook groups talking about how it's inaccurate in the XCS software. However, this project, like many others, was pretty close. It estimated 16 minutes, and I'll show you at the end how long it took. Now, here's the part I messed up, and I say to myself, welcome to laser cutting, Sarah. I should have moved this wing off to cut in a separate area because I wanted the 3D wing on the fully cut out flamingo. But whatever. Here you can see 18 minutes it took, and when I open it up, I realized, hey, I'm missing a circle right there. So I didn't touch it, hit undo on the accidental delete, and cut that. This thing cut everything all the way through. I was really worried that the fallen pieces would actually get lasered, but it wouldn't matter because it didn't happen. And here's what the residue looked like, not too bad. Next up, I'm not going to make you watch me paint because that's about as exciting as watching paint dry. There's no skill. I used 4 pre-made paint colors for this. Pretty simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about some major lessons learned throughout this process. The first lesson that I learned is I'm going to try to paint the entire thing and then cut out each piece, because this was a lot of work, and I think unnecessary work, because if I have the camera inside of that unit, I would be able to position everything to cut where I wanted it. That's my theory. I'll try it and let you know. Second lesson I learned was seal at the end. Listen, I did 2 coats of paint, then I sealed every single individual piece. I wouldn't do that again. Just FYI, paint everything and seal the whole thing after you've assembled it. All right, so I had to paint that cutout portion of the flamingo, and then I went back to painting all of these individual little pieces, which surprisingly cut out really well. I didn't have any pieces that were jagged or had any big time scorching. And again, I didn't use a honeycomb plate, and I didn't use the air assist. So I was pretty impressed. Here's that original lesson learned about the scoring. For all things good, score deeper. That, because I'm not gonna lie, even sped up, this looks extremely frustrating. And friends, it was because here I am trying to see, I keep moving this thing. I got a flashlight to see if I could see the score marks. I couldn't. So I end up actually getting my phone, pulling up the original image, and just trying to piece it together from there. I think that's probably my biggest lesson learned is score deeper than you think you need because wow, this was super frustrating. And again, this is sped up. So think about that. Okay, so now that I had everything positioned almost accurately, my next excuse me, lesson learned is use a much thicker base if you're ever making door signs. I knew that this one was going to be underneath my patio back by the pool. So all I did was use wood glue with hot glue, and I just spaced both of those out. And then I positioned each and every one of these. So my lesson next time is get a pin nailer and just pow, 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 pow. But once everything was glued down and dried, I added some details, and that is it for this project. Now, for my first laser door sign, I think it's cute, but what do you think? Let me know down below. Also, remember, I am new to this. Do you have any tips for me? As always, thank you for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe for more crafty fun.